As businesses start to leave mask mandates behind, vaccination mandates, as we were just talking about, become a bit of a quandary. That's going to be for customers and for employees, like this announcement from Delta CEO.
I'm not going to mandate and force people if they have some specific reason why they don't want to get vaccinated, but I'm going to strongly encourage them and make sure they understand the risks to not getting vaccinated. One caveat to that, though, any person joining Delta in the future employer, we're going to mandate they be vaccinated before they can sign up with the company.
Can they enforce this with employees? How can you tell in other businesses who's vaccinated? Here to talk about this and other issues is Todd Furniss. He's an author, business strategist, and the CEO of the investment firm GTC. Todd, thanks for taking the time. So, is the danger right now, in your estimation, companies moving too quickly to follow the CDC or too slowly?
There will be a litany of medical exceptions, and what's going to happen is somebody's going to say, wait a minute, I don't know if you do or don't fall into a medical exception. I'm not equipped or trained to evaluate whether or not the medical exception is appropriate. The whole thing is just a morass. It doesn't make any sense to me at all that you would subject somebody to this, especially given the real risk that we're talking about.
Verification of customers coming into your restaurant, not working there, but coming into a restaurant or a bar. Some of them are thinking about doing maybe armbands, like you would check an ID at the front door, you would check the vaccination card. Is that legal? Is that a good idea?
Well, I think while I am a lawyer, I don't want to opine on this issue in this way, but for the first thing that would call my attention to the matter is HIPAA, the Privacy Act for patient information. You're essentially compelling them to give you information, whether it's because they've been vaccinated or alternatively because they have an exception to the need to be vaccinated. You're compelling them to divulge private information, healthcare information, in advance of some function, the ability to go have dinner at the restaurant, the ability to get on an airplane. I don't think that makes any sense. I think it should be up to the individual to exercise that responsibly, dutifully, and thoughtfully. I mean, hopefully people, if they have the flu, for example, they don't go travel and hop on planes.
But yeah, take me there, because again, you're not compelling them to come to your business. Again, I can serve you food if you're in compliance with all of the issues and if the law allows me to, put these parameters around it. So if someone chooses to come to your business, you get to choose to make it safe.
Well, I think that's true. It is true. And then you run into a couple of other questions, like what are the limitations on what kinds, as you're correctly pointing out, on what kinds of restrictions you can place. So, for example, I think that another reason why this is a difficult area is because we don't have even a consistent set of rules from anybody.
Give me a case study example. If I apply to work at a nursing home, we know a lot of people in the healthcare industry, but again, it's not usually the doctors. It's maybe like a CNA, an LPN, things like that, assistants are not wanting to get inoculated right now. Should they be required? Because again, we have seen this is lethal in very high numbers with old people.
Should they be required to get a vaccination? I don't think that they should be required to get a vaccination because, in all likelihood, the people who are in the nursing home already have already been vaccinated. There's something like 80% of people over 65 have already been vaccinated.
Sure, but let's say the immunocompromised. You made mention earlier of the immunocompromised who are not able to get a vaccination. Is it not their duty, and is it not the duty of the employer who has them living in this facility to say, you know what? You got to do it, whether you want to or not, because again, we have to ensure their life.
I understand the argument. I just think it's a slippery road to go around forcing people to divulge patient information and also to divulge other detailed medical details of themselves.
In that case, then, if we're focusing on free choice, then Todd, I guess the other argument could be: isn't there a free choice of that person to go work somewhere else? You're not guaranteed this job.
Yeah, absolutely, and there are plenty of jobs available right now. So yes, you're absolutely right. And so I think if somebody is confronted with that and they make a decision, hey, I don't want to work in a place that's going to require me to show papers, which is a little scary, then they can certainly elect not to take that job. So it is very, very thorny. I'm just pointing out that there are some real significant issues that are going to be challenging, and we're going to make mistakes. There are going to be some instances where we get it wrong, and as a result of getting it wrong, people are going to be angry and confused.
Thorny is the word. Todd Furniss, I appreciate you coming on and talking about the business and legal aspects of this. It is not an easy topic, but again, I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.